This video is about how investors are using loan assumptions today to pick up properties with a lower interest rate. Now with rates being 7% and maybe even higher for some investors, it just simply makes sense to look at homes that are on the market for sale that have a loan that can be assumed by the investor. And maybe that loan is in the 4s or the 3s or even below 3. It would simply make sense to try to assume that loan instead of getting a new loan at a higher interest rate. So let me say, if this is your first time to my channel, thanks for stopping by. I'm Dan Forbes, local real estate broker here in Leander and the Cedar Park area, just north of Austin. And the market that I work in is North Austin, Cedar Park, Leander, Liberty Hill, Pflugerville, Round Rock, Georgetown. So if you're thinking about moving or relocating here, or if you're an investor and thinking about investing here, you've come to the right place. And I hope that before you leave my channel today, if you like the content, that you will subscribe and hit the bell and give it that thumbs up. It does help other people find the channel as well. And you can look down in the description below, see how you can call, text, email, or heck, I don't care, send me a carrier pigeon. And always remember, I've got your back. But let's get into today's topic about loan assumptions. And this isn't something only that investors can use, but it can also be an owner-occupied person who just doesn't want to pay today's high mortgage rates. If you can find a home that has a lower rate and the type of loan that you can assume, it just makes a lot of sense. Okay, so in today's video, we are talking about how investors might purchase a new investment property today by assuming a loan that is already on the property. So let's talk first of all about some of the benefits of doing that. Of course, the biggest benefit is the money you save by assuming a loan that has a lower interest rate. I mean, think about the rates back in 2020 and 2021. Some of those rates got down below 3%, but if you can get a mortgage rate on an existing loan of 3%, 4%, or 5%, that is so much better than rates of 7% or even higher today. So number one, the benefit is you save on the interest rate, and that means your payment is lower. Number two, when you assume a loan, there is no loan origination fee. And sometimes that fee, depending on the lender you work with, might be 1% of the loan. So the origination fee is eliminated. Number three, you may save potentially years of the balance of payments on the property. So if it's an older loan and it's been paid down for, say, 5 years, well, now you have a loan that you're assuming that only has 25 years of payments left on it. So there's a big savings. Number four, no appraisal is needed. An appraisal can run you $500, $600, $700, $800 in a transaction today. So that's money that you can save simply by assuming. No appraisal is needed whatsoever. Number five, it generally is a faster process than going through the whole underwriting process of a new mortgage. So there's a lot of shortcuts to the whole process. So it may not take as long as it typically does to get a new mortgage in place. And then lastly, it is easier to qualify when assuming a mortgage because your payment is going to be lower. Therefore, your debt to income ratio is going to be easier to qualify for. You're going to need less income to qualify for the same loan if you were having to qualify at a higher interest rate. So that's just some of the benefits of assuming a loan that's already on the property rather than getting a whole new mortgage. Now let's talk about some other things. Number one, what kind of loans can be assumed? You can assume FHA loans, VA loans, and USDA loans. You can't assume conventional financing because of the due on sale clause that is a part of the note that whenever the seller sells the property, the whole mortgage has to be paid off. But on the government-backed loans that I mentioned, you can assume those loans. Number two, how easy is it to find an assumable loan out there on the market? Well, actually, it is relatively easy for your realtor or your real estate broker to find those types of loans. Here in Austin, it is a matter of the public records, and I can actually search for properties that are listed that have an FHA or a VA loan and can find those. I did a search this week for an investor, and we found up to 110 properties on the market right now that have loans that can be assumed. So it's really not so hard when you have the tools like I have available to me. The next point is that credit qualifications are easier for an investor assuming a loan because the qualifications for an FHA buyer are a lot easier than a conventional buyer, and you're simply just taking that over. Now you do have to qualify. You've got to qualify with the lender, but you're qualifying under the FHA guidelines rather than conventional financing guidelines, so it's actually easier for you to get approved. And the last question, is there any pitfalls or any reason not to assume a loan on a property? And the answer to that is really there is no reason not to do it. Well, I guess the only reason would be is if the interest rate on the loan you're assuming is higher than the interest rate that you can get today. But in this environment of higher interest rates, it makes an awful lot of sense to look for older loans already on the property that can be assumed. So I hope this information has been helpful to you, and if you like the content on my channel, don't forget before you leave, please subscribe, hit the bell so that you'll be notified when new videos is posted, and also smash that thumbs up button as well. It helps people find my videos. And then before you leave, you've got to do something. I mean, here's a channel, all I talk about is real estate. You're watching because you have an interest in real estate, but if you want to own a home or you want to invest in a home, you've got to do something. Look down in the description below and you'll see how that you can call me, text, send me an email. Heck, I don't care, send me that carrier pigeon, and always remember that I've got your back. Right now you're seeing some other videos pop up for my channel, so if you want to know everything there is to know about living in Cedar Park and Leander, Texas, and all the North Austin suburbs, take a look around, enjoy the videos, leave a comment. I'll be happy to reply to you when you do.